This might be the strangest start to a video ever. The girls are off to the shops, aren't you?
Yeah. We are.
Are you going to buy me some socks?
Yes.
Awesome.
Buy you some socks.
So whilst you guys are out, I am making a meatloaf igloo.
Nice.
From the 1950s.
Ooh.
It's covered in mashed potato. It's made of meat.
I'm vegetarian, so I can't really eat that.
Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope you are well wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our kitchen. Today we're doing another vintage recipe. We've done a few of these before and you guys do send me these recipe cards from time to time and I'm thinking, okay, we need to make this a fairly regular thing. We've had some success in some ways. We did the banana hollandaise with ham and that was actually okay.
That's surprisingly nice.
Is it? The polar opposite of that, we did the beef fudge recently and that was pretty darn disgusting.
It tastes of dog food a bit.
It does. Oh my gosh, I can taste it now. We made this most gorgeous fudge and it was just, the beef was delicious too, but they should not have been fused together. But hey, it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound like a dance move. The Meatloaf Igloo. Can you see that? There it is. So it's actually a slab of meat with like the actual brick on the outside for the igloo and then cheese dumped on the top and a little, is that like parsley? A little courtesy bush next to your igloo, because of course you have a natural foliage like a bush in the Antarctic. I have no idea if this is going to work. Effectively, it's going to look a little bit like a meaty turtle, but the meat goes with evaporated milk. So we'll get it going. I'll come on to why I think they use that as we do it. All right, let's just get started on this meaty igloo center, which annoyingly is not like hollow like an igloo, so I could put like little Lego characters in it. It's gonna be solid and it could go two ways. One, it could be super succulent and juicy with that evaporated milk with it, or it could be the driest thing ever. So that is a roughly 2 pounds. I had to do a conversion here, so it's about 1.5 kilos of beef mince. All right, Salt Bae wasn't around, so we're not doing a necessary Salt Bae. I love this. 2 teaspoons of salt. This is a 3/4 teaspoon, so I'm going a little bit higher. 2 teaspoons of salt, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. So 1/8 of pepper. And do like 2 grinds of me peppermint. I love pepper. I'm just feeling a little bit like, that seems very biased to salt, but as we know from over the years, salt does do a lot in cooking, even in melted chocolate. It does add to the depth of flavour, and it's 1.5 kilo of beef, so we'll let it ride. Okay, so into that next was something called instant minced onion. And I looked at that thinking, oh right, do I need to go to the freezer aisle and see if I can get like pre-chopped onion and chop that in there? No. Do I go get these sort of flashy gourmet things that are pre-chopped that you put in the fridge in a jar? Really expensive. No. Apparently their version of instant minced onion is a jar. Oh my gosh. The lid just flew in. It's basically onion granules, and conveniently for me, 60 grams is exactly what I need. So that is all going in there. And there's a plume of onion granule smoke going in. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. And you know what? Although that looks more like a beach than an igloo right now, we're driving flavour in with that. Next up, to hold it together, breadcrumbs. I really want to add some herbs in, but no, the last ingredient is the one that you guys are quite excited about. Evaporated milk. Yeah, evaporated milk. We'll come on to that in a minute. Why I think this has been used. 1 1/3 of a cup of that moisture. Now the thing with evaporated milk is once it was at source, it was like basically if you look at it in the tin, it's an alternative. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you hear that squelch? Sorry. It's an alternative to fresh milk in your fridge. So back in the days when storage and transportation of milk was a problem, they take the water out of source so it can prolong its shelf life, which for people in the 50s and the 60s or whenever, instead of having like a billion fridges, they just got a huge larder cupboard, and whenever they want milk, they can just go to that and that's that. But it smells really oniony, and the milk's just kind of made it a lot smoother to handle, and I'm not unhappy with that right now. The only thing that's bothering me right now is we have to bake this, right? I just want to make sure that it cooks through, and I might only find that out at the end. So I'm going to get a smaller bowl now to help us shape it into the igloo. It might look more like a turtle. Look, there it is there. You see how it's kind of got a flat top on it. So I've got this little bowl here. I'm going to drop that. But it could give us the perfect shape. I'm just leaving a little bit for a door entrance. I guess that's the technical term of the igloo, a door entrance. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. There's a couple of little gaps, we can fill that in. Oh, a little bit there as well. But then as you push one side, it slides out the other. Oh, come on. It's so slidey, it's got to pop out. It's like a bike helmet. Come on. Oh no, come on. Oh. Come on. Oh, it has dropped. Let's just try one side, just to bring it away. I'm trying to slam the glass down, but my fingers are underneath the bowl, so I'm literally slamming my fingers because I don't want to break the bowl. Yes. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. There we go. And the amount of times I'm having to clean my hands in between the scenes so I can pick up the camera. Okay, so I've got a tennis ball shape, which we're going to try and form into a door. I'm hoping, because it's, you know, it's quite moist, it's going to bond quite well and not fall apart. Oh my gosh, it looks like a turret gun. Or it does look like a turtle, doesn't it, without its shell? And I think that is ready to go in our oven for a long time. It's going to need it. Alright, so that is going to 160C fan, 118C without a fan, or 325 Fahrenheit. It's actually going to bake, it does say, for a minimum of an hour, up to an hour and a half. Now I'm doing it for the full 90 minutes just to make sure, because I don't want a medium rare igloo. This has got to be up there with one of the strangest things I've put in the oven, but effectively it's meat and it's gonna cook through. And also, what I was thinking, they're calling it mashed potato frosting. There's probably a reason for that, because like frosting a cake, doesn't matter if your cake's not perfect, you can cover it in that and make it look like an igloo, right? So whilst that is baking, a parcel has literally just arrived. I don't know if you know of the merchandise in the last few months. We've really pushed it with Phoebe's help, and thank you to everyone that's got it and supporting the channel. But I want to bring it in-house to our website rather than using a third party. So this is something that's happening at the moment. We're just testing it out. And this is some stock that's literally just arrived. I've got like a seal hoodie, which looks quite nice, with a sewn emblem on the baseball t-shirt, or you can get print on a long sleeve one. Doesn't have to be baseball style, it'll be plain like these. And Phoebe's improved the logo with Team Toaster on it. It'd probably be shrunk down, but for something like an apron, oven gloves, or a tea towel, that'd probably be pretty big. Mug, sewn on hat as well, I quite like that. Mask and bag, and actually in the background I've just stuck up, this one arrived a few days ago, a stonking tea towel. There's about 10 minutes left. It's brown, looking amazing. Fingers crossed it's cooked through. But this recipe, the igloo, was part of a huge spread by the American Dairy Association to inspire kids to eat the main food groups. And igloo was the headline act. Meatloaf, like a bat out of hell, was the headline act, alongside rolls and butter, sour cream dressing, cinnamon apple crisp, vanilla ice cream, and a gelatin salad. I'll get a photo of this up here. Let's have a look. It looks like a big block, looks like a big Lego aspic thing. I get a lot of requests to do that, but for some reason there was a flurry of requests for the igloo. Maybe we'll do that next. The other thing with the instant mash, you normally add water to it, but we're mainly adding evaporated milk with a bit of water. And apparently the theory with that, with the evaporated milk and the 60% gone, like we talked about before, you add the water back in, so you're putting it back to how it originally was. You're kind of making milk in your own kitchen. Stonking, I think. Yeah, when I've made it in the past with water, it's a bit bland, so I'm quite glad that we're adding the milk in there. It might actually enhance our frosting. It's weird to think that this is mashed potato. It's so starchy. We can start to get the mashed potato ingredients ready. That is 2/3 of the evaporated milk. And this is the really cool thing, right? We're now hydrating it again. We're adding the water in there, and this amount combined is actually the required amount that it says on the packaging of the instant mash. Brilliant. A little shimmy of salt and a tablespoon of butter. Right, we're gonna bring that to a simmer once the turtle, I'm calling it the turtle, is out, and then we add the mash. I'm gonna start it on the low heat, I might as well. It smells so good. Honestly, I'm getting this waft of like onions and meat and char. So just gently simmering that. It's about 1 minute left. We're actually gonna get oven gloves as well, like I say, with like the toaster on it, all the different slogans. And they were saying, oh, do you want like the single hand ones? But these make me feel like a bit like a lobster. I don't feel that comfortable with them. I've always liked these ones where you can sort of like go, whoa, you know? Timer. That wasn't like I was waiting for it or anything. Ah, it looks so angry. And what's it done to my pan? Look at that. Wow. I don't know. It is either going to go really dry or it's going to be really moist. We'll find out. I kind of like this scene. So we've got this just hitting a simmer. All right, that looks really angry, like it wants to foam up. Let's turn that right down. But we're not just doing the package instructions on the mash here in 2021. If you're watching this video in 2030, hello from the past. We're adding like the butter and the salt and the evaporated milk. So we chuck this in and it will thicken up. And this is going to be a disgustingly creamy, naughty mashed potato. Look at that. But I want to get it as smooth as I can. Wow, look at that. I should take it off the heat really, but you can see, look. That is mad. I hope I've got enough. Doesn't look like enough, does it? Okay, this pan is warm. I can just about hold it, but I want to put it onto a fresh... Oh, it's just shunted along. I want to put it onto a fresh silpat to give me a lovely canvas to spread our mashed potato on. Let's dump that mash, and I can see it starting to try and firm up. Even though it's warm, it's trying to give it that layer. But I'm going to take some mashed potato, and it only needs to be a fairly thin layer, I imagine. Start at the bottom. Okay. All right, you've got the idea of what I'm doing for the next few minutes. Let's see if we can cover it, and you'll come back and be like, ooh, it's an igloo. It has sort of worked. It's gone a more bumpy than I would have liked. But I think what I might try and do, I don't know if this is going to work, I might brush it with a little pastry brush and water to see if I can sort of smooth the edges out a little bit. That is way better than the other side. I'm going to brush it before we bake it again. Yeah, it says 15 minutes in the oven, but I'm worried, so I want to try and keep that innocence, that sort of pale mashed potato look to it. It can crisp up really quickly. So we'll get that done, and hopefully it'll let me carve those blocks in. Yeah. That's had 15 minutes in the oven, and it looks exactly the same. And I feel like this is probably the best chance to try and do the bricks. And I can use a bamboo skewer to possibly make that reality and score into it. Oh, it's still warm and delicate. I'm gonna have to take my time. But I think I might surprise, I'm gonna have a go at this. I'm gonna literally score it, and we'll jump to seeing if it looks like an igloo from a white turtle. I did say I wouldn't film this bit. I did a little bit for Patreon Vlog Club, but I just need to show you this. Because it's cooling down, it gets easier, but it's taking blooming ages. You have to break that crust that forms. If you do it too rough, it just breaks the whole thing. So you break it with a cocktail stick, and then a wider stick like a bamboo skewer just pressed in like that, and it forms the gaps. It looks a bit like a moon base, doesn't it? Right, we're nearly there. I don't think any of you are going to want me to build you a house anytime soon, but that was actually really temperamental. Breaking through the crust and then doing the lines, this actually worked out. I mean, on the camera I'm looking at it right now, that looks all right. It looks more like a turtle still, but one last thing for it to go on is this. Can you see there's like a drench? It's saying cheddar cheese, but that looks way more like red Leicester to me, and it's got a little bit of a droop on it. So, I'm gonna cut our cheese into a droop. So this should melt on to look like snow. Mozzarella would have been better, wouldn't it? Just while we melt our snowy cheese on top of the igloo, if you're not subscribed already, or already are, and you're not notifications, make sure your notifications are turned on when you are subscribed for regular videos. And if you've seen any cool vintage recipes or any other recipe ideas for the channel, do let me know down below or on your favourite social media platform of choice. Mine used to be MySpace, where everyone was friends with Tom, but I think that's turned to a music platform, so yeah, probably not best to do it through that. But it looks like it's holding strong and the cheese is melted. So I present to you the Meatloaf Igloo dance, but also the Meatloaf Igloo. Oh my gosh, I'm really happy with that. All right, so it's got that little bit of parsley hedge. Let's do that. We've added to ours. We've made an actual door for our igloo. Let's just stick it in the mash there. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'll do the main cut when the kids are back. Well, let's go through the door. Ah, okay. Shabba dobba ding dong, that looks dry. Oh. Wow. That is not moist at all. That is really dry. Oh my gosh. The mashed potato is creamy and gorgeous though, I love that. It's almost got a cheesy vibe to it, which is there. We haven't had any of that. The meat is kind of chunky and it's not completely bone dry, but I was really hoping for some moisture in there. I think we need to have like a teeny bit of perspective here before like I criticise it too much, because it was from the 60s. We've learnt about the theory of evaporated milk and recipes weren't that easy. And if I was a kid in the 60s, I wasn't for reference, I would actually have found that really, really fun. I would not have wished to have been the parent making it, but it's fun, it tastes all right. And I've done some TikTok recipes in the last sort of few months where they've tasted worse and they had less of the resources and, you know, all the ideas and inspiration they do now. Worse than that, it did have good flavour. It was fun to make, a little bit fiddly, but in the 60s I would have blooming loved it. So thanks for watching. Let's see what the girls think, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
Alright, they're back.
Hello.
We lost the vegetarian. She wasn't keen to try the meaty igloo. Oh my gosh. Oh look, we're taking a wedge out.
Wow.
Now it's cooled down, it does smell a lot like burger. What do you think?
The mash just reminds me of school dinners.
But it's from the 60s, right?
Yeah, I think
it's a meal, right?
A good combination of meat, potato, pour some gravy over the top,
Yeah.
side of peas, and you're good to go.
And it's aimed for kids,
yeah.
right?
I think it would get kids to eat this.
Would you eat that?
Well, yes. The only thing that you need is ketchup.
Yes.
Because, like, that's like just having it in a burger bun. You can just have that.
Yeah.
You need ketchup. You need it.
Alright, see you next time. And if you see any other vintage recipes, as I say, like the gelatin salad. You want to try that, Chloe?
Gelatin salad.
Let us know. We'll see you soon. Bye.